here is good, anything that's low. Aqui está bien, aqui no. Right here is good, anything that's low. Aqui está bien, aqui no. I want a good, clean fight. You can't run playing limpia. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Escúchame, cuídate, listos, ready, let's go.
Tony Weeks, 25 years of experience, and as you see with Canelo Alvarez there, Chris Mannix, with that knee brace on his knee.
Yeah, you'll notice that sleeve. He wore it in the Rocky Fielding fight. It's because of discomfort he's been feeling since he started training for Fielding. For this fight, he did the least amount of road work in his career. It's serious enough that Canelo told me he plans to have it checked out after this fight. But this is a fight where he's going to have to be mobile. Will his mobility be limited here tonight?
This is what it's all about. You just don't know. Middleweight championship of the world. Canelo Alvarez defending against Daniel Jacobs. Both men can box. Both men like to slug. They can brawl, or they can move. A lot of dimensions on both sides. Brian Kenny, Sergio Mora, Chris Mannix here ringside. Sergio, you've been in there twice with Daniel Jacobs. What are you looking for early on here in the first round?
Well, right now he's staying patient and poised with his elbows in. I notice his elbows are really in. Now he gets powered by that, but I think he's doing that because he knows that Canelo is going to be looking at landing body shots.
Canelo in his last fight against Rocky Fielding just came through like a buzzsaw, but that was against a different level of competition in Rocky Fielding. He's also, though, at 100 and...
You know, it sticks around, it's harder to shift, your metabolism slows, and Canelo is in that category. Sorry, Jacobs is in that category, he's 32 years old, and the weight does hold, so hopefully that's not a disadvantage. We don't want to see that.
He whipped the body shots in that destruction of poor Rocky Fielding just before Christmas. He was game and brave, but totally outclassed, and he's tried the body early. So too Jacobs there, with quick and neat combinations. He fights in bursts, he's very clever, and he can be a ring general as well, Jacobs.
And he got through with a jab just before that fluid. It didn't really get through with anything, but...
He switched for the first time to southpaw, as we thought he would. Back and forth to try and befuddle and confuse Alvarez.
A short little combo on the gloves of Alvarez, finishing with a left hook. Did it slip through? I'm not sure, but the jab he's landed, and this work now where he's getting himself in range to put it together. Good start for me.
Through such a long journey in Guadalajara, and where he's come, the Cinnamon Kid, Canelo, Sal Alvarez, with those 51 victories. Just the one defeat to Floyd Mayweather, a couple of draws, the 24 rounds he did with Gennady Golovkin, and Danny Jacobs did 12 rounds with Golovkin, did have a flash knockdown in that, but extended Triple G, and many observers felt Jacobs was hard done by that night. Has he performed quite as well since in the more marking time fights, or did he need this huge challenge as he gets here in Vegas tonight?
Maybe he's not been put under the pressure that he needs to be under mentally, and certainly not physically in the fight with his last couple since the Triple G fight, but this certainly should bring the best out of him. The whole preparation has been geared towards a fighter that he knows is a superstar, and a superstar for a good reason. So I'm expecting the best of Jacobs, even at 32.
Jab to the body from Alvarez. Has he got the added speed and the freshness on Jacobs? Good work there from the Mexican.
There's a nice jab there getting through from Canelo. He just seems to, I don't know, he seems to have that sort of control, whereas in front of Jacobs, he's able to back him up, and anything Jacobs comes with, he's able to just block with that solid defence. Just constantly got Jacobs on his back foot.
Yeah, just missing there, Jacobs. Trying the inside work early to try and rip him in. Alvarez. Jacobs behind that jab. That's sensible. But look at that from Alvarez. The right hand partially blocked. That body shot got through, and Jacobs just Felt it slightly in an uppercut as well through the middle, looking strong and solid and speedy.
Yeah, he just looks so strong, Canelo, as he backs up Jacobs in, puts some shots together. Looks like when them shots land even on the arms, they force Jacobs back.
Good work from Jacobs with a combination. His family and supporters are alongside us to the left. It can hardly be heard amongst the Mexicans that are packed in here. And we'll be watching all up and down the strip on Cinco de Mayo weekend.
He can't afford to make a mistake, Jacobs. You can just see that Canelo, that right hook that just whizzed over the top of Jacobs' head, that's what's waiting for him. He needs to maintain focus every second of every round.
The clapperboard to end the second round. Fascinating, intriguing as we felt it would be. Look at that from Alvarez, the lovely jab. Jacobs reacts, but Alvarez takes a strong one. The predominantly red and green of the Miracle Man from Brooklyn. Such a popular figure, such a great talker, such a great fighter, such a great story. But has Canelo Alvarez asserted himself quickly and from a Mexican point of view, encouragingly on this fight so far? Just looking at your scorecard, you gave Jacobs the first round, Carl.
There was absolutely nothing in it, but I liked the couple of jabs he landed. I didn't see anything land clean from Canelo.
For me, Canelo has won both. Dave Caldwell.
Yeah, I've got Canelo winning both rounds so far. I like what he's doing. He's stalking, he's got a tight defence, and even when Jacobs is firing, his upper body movement's been very, very good. He's been throwing the left up high. He's known for a left up to the body, but he's been throwing the left up high. He's setting him up. So later on in the fight, he's going to start dropping that left up downwards.
Crunching shot on the inside. And he's elected to stay southpaw here. Jacobs and these body punches. And it's the electric pace of Alvarez, who looks tight and in burst. Looks quite superb. Jacobs tries to fend him off with the jab and defense, but he's to try and back up Alvarez, doesn't he?
He does, yes, but it's just evident immediately that Canelo is just bigger and stronger. And I have to retract what I said in the build-up, because I didn't think the size, you know, he's taller, he's rangier, he's been at middleweight longer, but Canelo's just so solid and so strong. He's able to just walk forward at will. And it's just almost like he's able to do he's not doing what he wants, but he's comfortable with the strength, the power in his punch, that he's able to just constantly just bring his feet forward and just back up Canelo. So the pressure's all on Canelo here, but he's boxing well on his back foot. He's looking for the counter. It's just the strength and the presence of Canelo. He really is a beast.
It's a combination of punching ready from Jacobs about 30 seconds or so ago. Alvarez continues to hunt the body. Get that jab through as well. Good from Jacobs. Quick hands there. Nice burst. This is what he can do. Get in and out of the pocket. Impressive.
Yeah, that was better. He was able to get through the guard as well of Canelo. He's looking, when he gets in range now, he's looking for that big shot. Got to be careful not to overload it.
And Jacobs walks into a left hand, and already a slight mark under that right eye for the New Yorker.
Stop.
Tit for tat in the third. The high-class duel that we expected. Jacobs out of range though at the end, and that one straying low. Because of balance, and that was part of the strategy.
Good defense from Jacobs. He's able to kind of sit in range, just backing up. He's not running and leaping out the way. Nicely tightly behind that shoulder as Canelo backs him up, and he keeps that right glove up tucked into his chin, ready for Alvarez's left hook. But he's being pushed back, and he's on his back foot constantly. He's really getting anything going himself, Jacob. Trying, but good movement from Canelo.
Yeah,
quality work there.
Terrific movement from Alvarez, who comes springing back, cat-like reflexes. Is he the man in his prime, and is Jacobs just slightly past it?
Stop.
That's a question that people have been debating this week.
I think there's an argument that is correct, a correct statement. I mean, Canelo, 28 years old, Jacobs, 32. You know, when you get into your 30s, you slow down physically. Mentally, you mature.
Okay, no. Well, watch. This is key. Listen to me, though. Listen to me. Here we go.
Sort that out. Roughhouse tactics around the back of the head. Canelo again leaps in with the left hook.
Yeah, tip for tap there with the back of the head. Canelo just seems to be in control on his front foot, just ever so slightly.
And listen to the vociferous crowd as well as Jacobs gets a good jab in.
Nice jab, nasty time jab as well as Canelo leaps forward. Jacobs is able to land a little counter, that left-hander sneaky shot.
You don't see Jacobs missing so much normally, do you, Dave?
No, but this is what's very underrated about Canelo over the last couple of years. His defence is very, very good. His upper torso movement is becoming much more improved. But tonight, his jab is on fire. He's mixing up between the head, the chest, the body. His jab's really unsettling Jacobs, and that's opening up his power shot.
Yeah, exactly on cue, just what you said. Alvarez delivers. A bit stuck in the mud at the moment. Jacobs comes back with a right hand, but Alvarez is away and his defence has improved over the years. It really has to become the full package.
Yeah, the head movement's great from Alvarez. He's just slipping and sliding and making Jacobs miss.
And that's expending energy, isn't it? Rocky fielding, plenty of Brits know quite how good he is.
Yeah, the experience when you go through the names, the amount of fights he's had, it's no wonder he looks so accomplished, so solid and confident. And he's just backing up Jacobs, and the head movement from Canelo is making it so difficult for Jacobs to get that long jab, that boxing ability that he's got. He's not able to really get it going because the head movement just slipping and sliding, and then he just pounced into action. And he looks so solid, Canelo.
He's almost outboxing the master boxer here, Canelo Alvarez. Danny Jacobs, the two-time middleweight champion, of course, and coming off those 3 victories over Luis Arias, Maciej Zalewski, Sergei Derevianchenko to regain the belt that he won against Jared Fletcher in New York many years ago. Alvarez again with a body shot. He looks so strong and confident and composed in there.
He is very strong. I mean, you can hear the punches landing, and you can see the effects they have. Even when they land on the arms and the gloves of Jacobs, they just knock him back, and you can see him thinking about everything coming back to him because he knows if one of them shots lands, it's going to be devastating. And Jacobs' jab doesn't look really that solid. He's not really putting anything together. I mean, the jab there got through, snapped the head back of Alvarez, but it's not happening enough. Get the feeling Canelo's just warming into it and just starting to enjoy himself a bit. I mean, still very tight, nip tuck. Canelo is certainly in control, looking solid. The jab sharp when he throws it. Jacobs just seems to have, I don't know if he's run out of ideas or he just can't really try anything. He can't take any risks, and that's a problem for him.
Whipping in the left hook to the body, the infamous punch of the great Mexicans. And that's what Alvarez wants to be remembered at. Slightly low from Jacobs, whose upper body movement is not as fluid as Alvarez. And he's being outboxed again here. Jacobs, he's trying desperately hard to get something going. Right down from Alvarez. Last word in the 5th.
And a short uppercut there, just stumbled back Jacobs as he moves away.
It took us for a couple of good body shots. Didn't seem to have any effect, and back Alvarez comes with the rapid-fire counters. It's better from Jacobs this. In the 6th, though. Traveled over just to be here. It's a classic encounter, but Canelo Alvarez is getting through now to Jacobs' body. And he needs some success from somewhere. One of his big punches, 29 knockouts on the slate for Daniel Jacobs, and he needs something big to happen now, but there's not really any evidence.
Yeah, he's getting backed up and pushed around now by Canelo as he lands heavy shots, pushing Jacobs back. I mean, nothing landed real clean there, but he was able to show his physical strength and the punching power. Good head movement from Canelo on the back foot. Neither fighter really able to land anything clean throughout the duration of this first half of the fight, other than the jab. But you just feel that the work that Canelo's doing and some of the accuracy, even if it is arms and gloves and side of the heads and puffing shots, it's all coming from Canelo.
I have to disagree with that. I was going to say, I think Canelo's landed a lot of meaty shots here. His body work's been great. He's been landing head shots. His jab's been awesome. The one shot he's been landing a lot that's very underrated is the straight right hand to the body. You know, he's taking a lot out of Jacobs here. Yep. I think it's Jacobs that's struggling to land on Canelo because Canelo's defense has been brilliant.
He is struggling. I don't think there's anything really clean though. There's no oohs and ahs in this arena, and there's a lot of fans for Canelo. Big shot there from Jacobs, nice left cross, but Canelo able to just shrug it off.
But the execution of some of this work from Alvarez to the body, particularly, has been mightily impressive. Here comes Jacobs, though, trying to rip it up and change things and apply the pressure and maybe use that physical strength, much the bigger guy in there, and to change the pattern of this.
He knows he's got to try and change the pattern. He's going to have to try something, and when Canelo sits on the ropes, if that means throwing 5 or 6 punches around the body, arms and head, and just land, take what you can, just hit what's there, at least he's getting some kind of success, because at the minute, it does look like one-way traffic from Canelo.
One thing we do know about Canelo in the past, he has faded as the rounds go on. And maybe this is a ploy from Jacobs. You know, he's rode out the rough patch in the first half of the fight, and maybe he'll be looking to make Canelo work in the second half of the fight, working when he doesn't want to work.
Would be a sly tactic, that, from Jacobs. Whether or not he can implement that, and if Canelo does slow down, we'll wait to see it, but he just looks so strong and so solid.
Lightning fast left hand as well from Alvarez. Had a last couple of rounds from Jacobs, and now he nods at him and says, okay then, come on, let's have a fight. And he fancies it. All of a sudden, Jacobs, maybe it is. Excellent round. Canelo Alvarez, question that stamina. Boxing from the southpaw stance again. Jacobs, always Alvarez having a round off. This is what ticks in the minds of these elite fighters, Carl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't know what they're thinking, but they've got a plan. And they're trying to implement a game plan, listen to the corner, and they can feel any kind of success. I think the success there of Jacobs was good, but it only came at the end of the round, and it came a bit too late because Canelo was also landing counters. But this is the kind of pattern that Jacobs needs to get himself back into this fight.
Lovely left hand from Jacobs, certainly having more success now in this period of the fight. Alvarez seeks up the uppercut, not quite the accuracy and fluidity that he had in the earlier rounds. And they both exchange leather there. You can feel the power at ringside, can't you?
Yeah, they've stood in, you can hear the shots when they land. Nice little cheeky left hook from Canelo as Jacobs just leaned forward. Nothing landing too menacing, but just them little cuffing shots.
Slightly low from Alvarez, these teeth-tough warriors. Mary extends his jab, Alvarez. And we felt that Jacobs would do more of that, certainly in the first half of the fight.
Nice cheeky little lead right hand from Canelo as he came forward, trying it again there. This is the stage now where Jacobs, if he's going to build on the bit of success he's had in the last couple of rounds, he needs to press it home, but good work from Canelo.
Excellent from Canelo Alvarez there. Beautifully timed shots. And Jacobs comes back, but not a thing apart from that one, which is a lovely left hand, which bounces off the chin of Alvarez, who needed all his sturdiness there.
Just getting sloppy there, Canelo, and he soaked up a big hook. Took it well, but that certainly shook him to his boots.
The Jacobs family on their feet alongside us. A power punch there in the 9th round, and a reminder that this is far from done. An uppercut from Jacobs too.
Both just look like they've slowed down a bit here, Dave. It seems to be the pace has dropped.
I was just about to say to you, the Canelo jab now isn't as effective. He's not throwing it out as much, he's not throwing it sharp, and it's allowing Jacobs now to get some shots off himself.
And he's good with them little shots, them little combinations he puts together. If you sit in front of Jacobs, he will hit you with 3 or 4 shots. Not been much of that this evening, but we're seeing it more often as this fight draws on.
And a body shot at the end of another round that Daniel Jacobs.
Okay, stay top. All right.
A fantastic duel of the elite middleweights. Canelo Alvarez, if you need the description in the white and gold, I'm sure you don't, in these green gloves that he's picked for part of the Mexican color, Cinco de Mayo. And Daniel Jacobs, who's got right back into this over the last few rounds. He seemed to have woken up, but Canelo was brilliant, wasn't he, in the first few?
Yeah, he really was solid, backing up Jacobs. Anything that came his way, he blocked or slipped. And now he's loading up slightly, and Jacobs is able to just put together the odd combination. And if this carries on...
Body shots and a lovely combination there from Jacobs. And maybe the extra weight is now helping him rather than slowing him down. Physically, he looks powerful. Back comes Alvarez, and here we go again.
And straight away back comes Jacobs. I mean, if Jacobs can sustain any kind of combination punching, and Canelo, because he's put his foot off the gas, Canelo, he seems to be breathing a bit, he's standing still. Dave Caldwell mentioned earlier, he does fade as he goes on into the rounds, as he gets towards the championship rounds, he does slow down ever so slightly, and that could be the difference here.
Jacobs getting his jab going. Alvarez looking for the big left hand. Decent defense from Jacobs. The Mexican fan club get back behind Alvarez, but Jacobs with the combination. And he really is improved in this fight. And he's showing us what he's all about. Danny Jacobs, the miracle man. The Brownsville boy who has shocked everybody in what he's done in life. Can he shock the world in these last 2.5 rounds?
Well, he's able to sit in range now in front of Canelo without worrying about what's hurting him or hitting him, and he's able to fire straight back. And this sort of work right here will be winning him the round if Canelo doesn't put a combination to answer, because Jacobs is firing back.
Alvarez falls in for the first time, as if he just wants to take a little gap, a little respite. Great body shot from Jacobs. This is really good work from the American.
The last thing Alvarez wants to be doing now is giving Jacobs any confidence, because his corner men have given him a real cheer up. And he knows he's had some success in that last round as well. This is closing up this gap. This fight's getting more and more interesting.
Is it fast becoming a championship fight of 2 halves here? Alvarez still having the bits of success, but Jacobs suddenly looks more mobile and more powerful. And who wants this more? They both do, don't they?
Yeah, I think they both know how serious this is, and they both really are going for it. But
a mega match can be made. I'm sure everybody will be delighted. These 3 middleweight greats. Who is the best? It's a matter of opinion. It's a bit like AJ Wilder Fury at heavyweight. But these guys are all fighting each other. You've got Alvarez by a single point. And Dave?
I've got it 6-4 to Alvarez now. Danny Jacobs has really brought himself back into this fight.
Last 6 minutes. Jacobs looking strong and solid as he delivers the body shots, and less coming from Alvarez. Is he feeling it, the pace?
He's definitely feeling the pace. He's solid and strong early on, and although it looks effortless, that takes a lot of energy. But Jacobs, he needs to get going on and build on what he's started in the last couple of rounds, because he can't sit there looking at Canelo. He's getting caught.
Good single right hand from Alvarez. This is better, back behind the jab. A cluster from Jacobs, but not really getting through. Eddie Hearn at ringside. beckoning Danny Jacobs to really apply the heat. He must be worried about the judges in Vegas.
If it's close, you do wonder. I mean, Canelo's a superstar. If it's close, probably give him the round. Whether that's fair or not is close, subjective. But Jacobs, to make sure, he just needs to be busier at this stage. In the last 2 rounds now, if he's got any energy left, which he looks okay, he needs to work. He needs to just leave it in there. Let the shots go.
Good defence from Jacobs, but that one got through from Alvarez, who's picked himself back up in the 11th. Here comes Jacobs again, but sporadic.
There's not much in this round. It's there for the taking. I've got a feeling Jacobs has just got rid of the clock for 2 minutes. And now he's having a look. He's closing that distance. He needs to start working now, but Canelo, very clever, landing the odd right-hand cheeky jab.
The better quality of shots in this round have come from Alvarez so far. Jacobs still pressing forward. Some block there. Will this be catching the eye of the judges? Relentless work rate, which we've seen from Jacobs on the increase through the back half of this fight.
Certainly busier from Jacobs, but they're both feeling the pace. You can see that Jacobs is feeling the pace there, Dave.
I think Jacobs has picked up his work in the last minute. For the first 2 minutes, though, it was too quiet. He needs to get a grip of the fight and really go for it.
I think that was his plan. I think he did that on purpose, but it can be dangerous because he would just lose the round. He'd throw it away.
Good right hands from Alvarez. And he just nods there as he pulled another one. Alvarez here when Jacobs seemed to be gathering momentum. Very tight. Jacobs believes he won that one. Alvarez raises his line here. Alvarez with a fast start. He looked terrific for many rounds at the beginning of the fight. Jacobs back with a really terrific effort and that eye-catching left hand as well. Alvarez showing a good chin. A slip there from Jacobs, who falls quite awkwardly. He says he's wet, and Tony Weeks is going to get a towel, I think, and clear it up.
Yeah. Here we go, time in, let's go.
Just caught the eye of one man more Marquez. He's got it very close. I think, you know, that's the general feeling, Carl, that depends how many of those first 6 you gave to Alvarez. If you give 4 of them or 5 of them, and Jacobs won the middle rounds.
We've been talking about Canelo and Triple G, and obviously we've got Canelo Alvarez in there. Triple G's at present. And there's been draws and tight decisions and arguable decisions between all 3 of them. There's really nothing to separate them. They really are that good and that evenly matched.
That's a good point. Jacobs now back to orthodox, backing up Alvarez. The left hook was classy from Canelo. And a combination there. Last minute and a half.
Stop.
Good work from both. I think Jacobs started that argument, and he seemed to just finish it, but Canelo had his fair share of success in that exchange. There's nothing in this round. Both fighters tiring, both slowing down, understandably, but just tight one to score.
But whatever happens, like with Canelo and Golovkin, like with Golovkin and Jacobs, they could do this all over again, these two. I think you're right, the 3 of them, fine margins.
It was a well-timed uppercut there from Canelo as Jacobs came forward.
I like the work of Canelo in this last round. I think the quality of the work has been really, really good. He's landed some really good eye-catching shots. The technique on the delivery, I like the work he's putting in.
I agree with that, but the work rate is from Jacobs. The busier shots, the combinations. So it's what you like.
Right hand from Alvarez, and has that added quality with a beautiful uppercut that's come back in the latter part of this fight. That was there for the first half. Is that going to be enough to seal the victory here? Jacobs with a body shot, but is he running out of time? Looks at his corner. You know they're both going to embrace. They're both going to celebrate.
Last 20 seconds of the fight, Jacobs knows, looks to his corner. He's looking to work now to try and get this round in the bag.
Alvarez, though, has finished well, and he started so brilliantly. Last few seconds. What's the reaction going to be from the pair of them? It is mutual respect.